All right. Sorry, I'm a little late, but I'm here. Let me make sure I have sound actually. Camera, audio, mic. Okay, can you guys hear me okay? Let me first make sure you can hear. Let me go over and check. Okay, hi. Hi Denise. Hi Jen. Can you guys hear me okay? I am live. Yes, we can hear you. Great. Okay, I'm on YouTube and I'm on Instagram. So if either one of these peters out, because sometimes that happens, you could jump over to the other one. If you get disconnected from Instagram, you can jump over to YouTube, vice versa. All right. How are we feeling tonight? Ooh, I want to grab our tarot cards. I was running late and forgot to grab the tarot cards, and I really want to do that. But in the meantime, and my glasses, talk to me about how we're feeling. Anything specific we want to talk about? Is there anything going on with you that you want covered? Hang on. Tell me that while I go get cards. I just forgot to grab them. Okay, here I go. Let me see. Let me literally see by putting my glasses on. And let's look. How anyone all right. No suggestions? Then let's talk about something that I found very interesting. I was talking with a friend, and they said, I have a couple of stories. Let's start with this one. The one story was, she's going through a hard time, going through a ton of changes, and was just trying to stay positive, right? She's like, I'm just trying to stay positive. And I said, why? Why are you trying to stay positive? And there was other people around, right? And they were like mortified by me saying that. Like, what do you mean? She has to stay positive. And I was like, why? Like, why does she have to stay positive? She's going through some changes right now that are really hard. They're hard. Why are we staying positive through something really hard? Why are we not instead feeling what we're feeling the truth of that situation? Not trying to stay positive. And listen, to be clear, I'm not saying that we don't have many times in our lives where we should be really managing the mind in a way that is more positive than not, right? Because those situations absolutely come up. But when we're going through a situation in real time, we have to be present in that real situation. And being present in that real situation means being present with the truth of what's happening. And when we start to focus on being positive, we're pulling ourselves out of the moment. We're pulling ourselves out of the truth of that experience. Because when we're in a painful experience, we're learning something. And if we are so focused and kind of hell bent on staying positive, we're losing the lesson and we're losing that moment in time that is there to teach us something. And so what happens is we start to pull ourselves out of the experience and start to, that term, mind ourselves out of it, right? And everything's okay, everything's fine. So let's ease up on that, and instead let's learn how to be present and allow the emotions to play and allow the frustrations to play, because frustration is what fuels us to make change. Anger is what fuels us to learn, right? Sadness is what allows us to let go and release layers. All of these emotions are so important in our development and our growth. And if we take those away and instead just focus on the positive, now what? We're repressing. Simple. End of story. So, but when we want to look at, like, so you might say, so when should I be staying positive? So when do I, you know, start to control the mind so that it's focused more on the positive and not the negative? Uh, Those situations are very real and need to come up uh, in their own independent way, because there isn't a one blanket answer for that. So an easy answer would be situations that you cannot control, right? Situations you cannot control, and let's say you've already worked through the emotional aspect of the situation. It's making me scared, it's making me angry, it's making me anxious. Let's say you've allowed yourself to experience all those feelings, okay? And now you're just kind of waiting with bated breath for this change to take place or to find out A, B, or C. Now, what you can do through your day to day, through your moment to moment, is bring your mind back. Bring your mind back. Bring your mind back. And where you bring the mind back to is a place of trust. Let's talk about the difference between trust and positive thinking. Trust and positive thinking, both are very important, but in some ways and in some situations, both are very different, because positive thinking is a way of, it's almost like I want to leave the understanding of positive thinking to doctors or therapists, right? Because in a way, it retrains the brain. And so it's really important. I'm not here to teach you about something you can read in a book or you can learn from a doctor or a therapist, because I am not a book, I am not a doctor, and I'm a therapist. I'm not a therapist. I'm not going to regurgitate that information to you. That's not going to serve you. That information does serve you, but you can go find it yourself. So, what I want to talk about is the difference between positive thinking and trust. So, let's leave positive thinking with, it is a way to retrain the brain and a necessary component, okay? But what we're talking about is managing ourselves in moments that are difficult and painful and scary and hard and breed anxiousness. And that's where we look to trust first, because trust is knowing that we have participated as much as we can participate, and our participation is 50%, and the universe, the cosmos, whomever you refer to it as, is 50%. So when you participate your 50%, you must trust the other 50% will turn out as it should be, not as you want it to be, but as it should be. And as it should be is when everything is in divine order. As it should be equals divine order. You have to get on board and align with divine order. And when you align with divine order, the why me stops, the questioning stops. I'm not saying don't ask questions, and I'm not saying don't question situations that have happened in your life. What I'm saying is you will question them from a very different perspective, from a place of understanding, and more so of what am I to learn from this and why? Because I trust that all is in divine order. And when all is in divine order, it's not always going to work in our favor, right? Because everything we think we want isn't always, yes, what we need, right? But more importantly, what we think we want isn't always, bear with me, what we think we want. Let me tell you what that means. We manifest, right? We're working towards a goal. We're really wanting something, right? And we're really aware of like what that something is. And then things start coming to you that are like that you might almost say that doesn't look like what I manifested, or that doesn't feel like what I put out there, or maybe you might straight up say that's not what I asked for, right? But as you lean into it, you're finding out something that you love. You're finding something that resonates with you, and you're ultimately going to find something that is bigger and better than you ever imagined if you allow that to take place. So, when we understand that 50% co-creator, that's going to come back to us in ways unimaginable. And that's the joy and the hope that it's unimaginable, because we want to imagine it and be it, yes, but we want things to come back in ways that are like, wow, that really blow your mind and really drive home the trust and the belief that you are 50-50 co-creator. And so all of this takes practice, it takes conditioning, it takes consciousness, it takes awareness. I'm not the fun one who's going to say it's really easy, just write it down. It's not really easy. It's not really easy, because if it was really easy, then I wouldn't be here teaching, and we wouldn't have self-help books, and we wouldn't have therapists, and we wouldn't have, how to manifest in 30 days. We wouldn't have any of that if it was really easy. But what I can tell you is the 5 steps to consciousness is the guarantee to get you there. And the 5 steps to consciousness are meditation every day, non-negotiable, yoga, physical exercise, very clean, healthy eating habits, moving to a plant-based diet when you need it, or when you're ready, slowly, therapy when you need it. Why are these 5 steps? That's it. That's it. There's nothing, when I tell you there's nothing more that you need than that, I mean there's nothing more that you need. And let me tell you why. Meditation is what's going to balance the mental, physical, and emotional body. And it's going to learn how to quiet the mind, so you can start to navigate intuition, and the mind takes a little bit of a step to the side. Okay, the analytics. We want the analytics, but we want to be led by intuition combined with analytics. Therapy when we need it. The emotional body has to be managed and released and healed, right? Plant-based diet. Move to a plant-based diet really slowly. 1 meal a day, maybe 1 meal a week, maybe. Start to slowly wean off of alcohol, tobacco, sugars, high processed sugars, because we want the foods that we put in our body to help move energy through us, not repress the energy, and or not to make the energy move in like a jagged way. You want the energy to move straight through. Caffeine, alcohol, sugars, the energy normally moves like this, and now it starts to move. You'll feel it all crazy, okay? The physical body has to be strong enough to hold the intuition and the consciousness that you want. The physical body has to be strong enough to hold it. And strong enough is different for all of us, right? Because some of us are born with DNA that might be a little bit weaker than others, or maybe we've been sick in the past. And so I'm not saying strong enough, meaning perfect health. I'm saying strong enough for you. Just at you're exercising, you're walking, you're doing what you need to keep this physical body strong, right? Yoga, because we hold past emotions, memory in the body, in places that therapy sometimes can't get to. And so when we're doing yoga regularly, just once a week if we can, or twice a week, or in the morning, this is going to start to ease that. And remember, every day that we're alive, we are acquiring and accumulating more energy, more memory, more suffering, but also more joy. We want to be able to release that regularly, so we're not holding on to something from 10 years ago, right? Simple. See, all of that is just, it's almost common sense. Now, how does that start to manifest for us? How does that ultimately manifest things into our lives? Because you're being led with intuition first. And when we lead with intuition first, we notice things beyond the analytical, because the mind is brilliant, but it has barriers, right? The mind can only see and understand something that's tangible. The intuition in us, there are no limits. And so your intuition can take you left, right, forward, backward without us going, that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. Whereas the mind can take you all kinds of places and you start questioning every single place it's taking you. You want the intuition to lead and the analytics to follow, because now you're allowing yourself to be led, even if it's not matching what what you wrote down as far as what you wanted to manifest, even if it's not matching what you think should be right. It's bringing you to where you are supposed to be, and wherever you are supposed to be is where joy lives. Joy disappears when we're pushing up against who we are as spiritual beings first. Questions, comments, concerns? Okay. Let's do our meditation. If you're new, get comfortable, lean up against something. Don't feel like you have to sit up tall and be really stiff. Just lay down, get comfortable, close your eyes. 3 releasing breaths. Deep inhale through the nose. Exhale, blow it out. Again. One more. Okay, allow the breath to move at its own pace. For anyone that's new, just a reminder, I have dogs. They may bark. Just stay in the moment. If you are on Instagram and it cuts out, I'm on YouTube, and vice versa. Start to deepen your breath just a little bit. Start to lengthen the breath just a little bit. Deepening the breath, lengthening the breath, allowing the breath to move through you, feeling the breath as it moves through you, allowing yourself to connect deeply to the ebb and the flow of your breath. Allowing the body to sink deeper and deeper and deeper. Allowing the body to just let go. What does it feel like to simply let go? Remember, the mind is going to chatter, and that's okay. Let the mind do what the mind does. Do your best to not engage. Do your best to not latch on. Allow emotions to come up. Allow emotions to flow out. Allow yourself to feel. Becoming aware of the belly, I want you to allow that belly to expand big on the inhale and to pull in on the exhale. So without forcing or pushing, notice how the belly wants to expand on the inhale and gently pull in on the exhale. Allowing the breath to move through the body. When you notice your breath becomes shallow, deepen it just a little bit more. I want you to feel, see, imagine. Some of us feel, some of us see with our third eye, and some of us will imagine. Or we may do all three. A triangle that sits right in front of your third eye. See this triangle, feel it, embrace it. This triangle may look different for all of you. There are no rules. Simply feel, see this triangle, and notice it expand on the inhale and contract on the exhale, as if it's breathing with you. Notice how it expands on the inhale and contracts on the exhale, moving with you. Notice the belly continuing to expand and relax on the inhale and the exhale. So we have multiple experiences happening. We have the triangle in front of us. We have our breath moving through the triangle in front of us. And we have the physical, the belly moving with the breath. Just be in this for a moment. Feel it, see it, be in it. Breathe with it. Feeling the body completely let go. I want you to take a little bit of a deeper look through the center of this triangle. If all you see is black on the other side, perfect. If you see color, perfect. There's no wrong experience to have. But I want you to make an effort to look through this triangle. What do you feel? See. Breathe into it. What is this bringing up for you? Just a few more breaths here. Staying where you're at. Just become aware of the body as it allows itself to totally let go. Wiggle the fingers and the toes to make sure they're not tense. Allow the shoulders to pull away from the ears. Notice if the eyes are gently closed or squeezed tight. Relax the jaw and the cheekbones. Relaxing the belly and the hips and the thighs. Allowing yourself to completely let go. Allowing yourself to be immersed in the energy and the flow of your breath and this triangle of energy. Nothing is of concern to you. You are fully present and feeling the connection. Allowing yourself to step into the higher consciousness and allowing yourself to be led by it. Deepen the breath. If you notice you start to tense a little bit, I want you to continue to breathe gently here, holding the visual of this triangle, feeling yourself as you look through the center, and allowing the breath to move. Feeling the belly move with the breath, allowing the connection of the physical, the emotional, and the spiritual to become one. I'm going to leave you here for a moment or two in the silence and in your breath. Start to deepen the breath, wiggling the fingers and the toes. And I want you to release this triangle from your third eye. So seeing it dissipate, disintegrate, dissolve. Maybe it flies away. And then I want you to come back into your body, connecting to the self and to the physical. And just gently open the eyes without moving. I want you to sit for a moment and feeling the ease and the quiet, the patience that lives in you, the stillness. Allow yourself to experience all of this with your eyes open. How can you find this stillness throughout your day? You'll have moments of it. And as you practice more and more, you'll have more and more moments of it. And one day, we'll experience this stillness more often than not. Because within this stillness is where our guidance lives. This quiet, subtle space is our intuition. Our guidance lives here, below the noise, below the chaos, the outside world, the brain, the emotions, the fear. It lives underneath all of that. And so when we can condition ourselves to access this regularly, our life will change. It's not a question of if it changes or will it change. It's it will. Are you ready? It will. Will you accept it? Will you lean into it? Will you feel it? Will you hear it? It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Tonight, we pull obsidian and kyanite. So for anyone that's new, I read these cards from an intuitive place. If anyone knows, if Denise is still on, I know you know Denise is a great healer also, and she actually knows these stones and what some of them do. Obsidian and kyanite. Just feel this card for a moment. Do you notice that on the forehead of this card, that's what the triangle was for you all? You see that light on that forehead? That's what the triangle was for you all. This card represents your consciousness, your awareness of your consciousness, your ability to go into it, your ability to take ownership of it, your ability to live in it more often than not, your ability to do the work to get yourself there. This is no longer a time where there are other people that can do things you can't do. This is no longer a time where they meditate, I don't need it, or they can do that, I don't. This is a time where everyone is stepping into their consciousness together. And we all have different skill sets, and we all use those skill sets differently. Goth Mouse, Obsidian is timely for me. Perfect. Hi, Antone. Nice to see you. Patricia, thank you. I felt white light filled with love. Awesome. Very cool. Good. Let me show you this last card. Wait, what card did I just show you guys? Oh, we were just doing kyanite because of the light. Okay, so now let's do obsidian. Feel this card for a moment. This card represents the density of being in body. I don't care how happy of a person you are. When we feel the true density of the physical body, its weight, yes, it has power, but just for a moment, when we experience the weightedness, the density, it can feel very heavy and restrictive, depressive, right? This is why this light is so important. This light on the forehead here is so important because it works in conjunction with the density of the physical body. And ultimately, perfect time, perfect world balance is we're lifted and we're grounded, right? In our meditations, through our 5 steps to consciousness, we're lifted with light and we're levity, and we're grounded with the density of the physical body. We have both. That's what that is, having both. Oh, you guys, great work. In about 45 minutes, I will be live again. Myth or Mystery, paranormal show. It's lighter, it's fun, and we play trivia. We win prizes. It's a lot of fun. Join me. I'll be here, YouTube, and probably Instagram also will be streaming from. I try to be here every Thursday night, 5:30 for you guys to answer any questions you have on your path, on your spiritual journey, to meditate, and just to talk. So, this life can be hard. So it's just a place for us to hang and talk. Thank you, Goth Mouse. I know. Thank you for coming. Thank you, Patricia. Good to see you guys. And I plan on seeing you all next week.